Today I'm releasing a new product that I've made. It's 10 film LUTs for free. I'm going to install them and show you how they work. I'm going to break down a few of the different looks and what they've been inspired by. And yeah, there's a link in the description. You can download them right now. There's also some additional assets and PowerGrades that are included as part of like a bundle that I have on my site. But if you want to get the LUTs for free and play around with them, they are available now. So with that said, let's take a look in Resolve at how these were built and what has gone into them. So here you can see the looks, a few different film simulations, and then also inspired by some filmmakers, you know, classic people in cinema and some of their work. So I'm going to real quickly fly through them. I'm going to show you kind of how I make these and what makes each one of these unique. So the first one, you know, I've shot a lot of 250D, and so this is based on that 16 millimeter. So for each of these clips, I have rendered some plate footage that was shot in a few different sources. The LUTs are available for 6 different camera platforms right now. There's a 33X LUT for camera monitoring, and there's a 65X LUT, which you can bring into Resolve. Like I said, there's also PowerGrades, which you can bring into Resolve. Those you can purchase, but the looks themselves are free. And so I'm gonna show you even like, if you get the PowerGrades, this is also kind of the install video. I'm going to show you what you can play around with to make the looks your own or make them a little bit different. Mostly this is an exercise in trying to do something fun. I know there are obviously so many of these kind of film looks out there, but these are ones that I built on the basis of a couple of projects that I've actually done. Also, it was fun to be able to go and look at a bunch of different film stocks that I have shot and try and take a look at it. I'm also going to include a bunch of real film overlays along with the PowerGrades. So yeah, let's take a look at the first one. Here it's like a 250D emulation, which I did before. I'll just play some of the footage. I mean, so yeah, these are from different cameras, and so all of the color management for this is in Aces. If you're wondering like what the process was to be able to get them to, you know, look close, I basically went in on a clip level and brought all of these to sort of the same general ballpark in Aces, around 500 IRE for kind of middle gray. Now, obviously there are a lot of different environments you can put these in. I tried to get some, you know, with some exposed bulbs in it where you could see a few different color charts, a few things we were kind of able to pull together. And then I also included, you know, some shots of me in the environment and shots from some of my films. I think that's what we're getting into next. Yeah, so this is from a new project that I'm doing, and one of them is from an older film. But of course, you can put these over any of your footage, and you can take a look at them if you like them. You can probably modify them quite easily in your own way. Certainly, if you get the PowerGrades, you can do that too. But yeah, so this is kind of in the ballpark, I guess, of the inspiration of 250D, which is kind of like the cooler mids, and but you know, kind of it has a bit of a greenness to it. Okay, so let's actually take a look at how I made these. So on a clip level, like I said, I made the adjustments to just kind of get it to a baseline. This was like a much darker scene that we shot. Most of what we're doing is on the timeline level. This is obviously different for each one of these looks, but they all kind of are built around the same buckets. So if you get the PowerGrade, you're going to get the noise reduction. You'll get the opportunity, you know, for the secondary color correction, and then the halation and the vignette, which I've been playing around with on and off. The vignette I've kind of kept off, and obviously yeah, the grain as well. So really the halation, the grain, and the noise reduction are the main things that you get in the PowerGrade that you're obviously not going to get in the LUT. So that makes it, if you want the finishing look, I would just get the PowerGrade. So I do have these enabled for the clips because, I mean, I like the way that it looks. That's kind of the whole reason of using it. I will fly through what each of these are. Balance is kind of the color, you know, the white balance correction if we needed to get it to like if we wanted to push it one way or another. Not a lot of that going on here because you're going to be using these in a lot of different white balance environments. So even though they're tinted, I didn't want to push it too far. Although if this was a finishing look, like you probably would do a little bit more of that. The density is basically like the exposure on the S curve. In this case, it's, you know, pretty subtle. The others have much more complicated one. It kind of depends on, you know, what the sort of log curve that we're trying to respond to for the LUT. Now, this is not scientific at all. It's really more just based on, like I said, something more intuitive and you know, creative and fun. And so these are like inspired by looks. They're not like true film. If you want the film emulations, they have a pretty good film emulator in Resolve. So there's no reason you couldn't just use that. So what's the point of these LUTs? Well, it's something specific and unique. So yeah, so the HSL saturation, this is, in Resolve, you can choose your color space. So if you set it to HSL and you disable channel 1 and 2, you get, the saturation without the hue or the luminance. The grade look is where most of the work's going on for 250D. Like I said, it's a little bit cooler, a little more green to my eye. I've shot a lot of this stuff, and so I did have references. Let's see what these were for the different film stocks. Yeah, so this is you can see the still references that were pulled right here. I'll make it a little bit bigger for you. So in this case here, I've actually gone and pulled some references from projects that I've done, and then these are also where the overlays came from. So this is some film that I've shot 250D for my feature Bad Animal, which is also linked in the description. If you want to support that, you can purchase a Blu-ray. And I'm gonna do a comparison of them, so maybe I'll drop some of these shots over it. We've got the 500T. This is kind of my favorite film stock. Warmer. I pushed these a little bit. This doesn't really look exactly like 500T. It's more inspired by and kind of a more deeply stylized. So you get a few different looks out of them. In the pack, there's 10 different ones. So some of them are, more high contrast, and this one is a little more stylized. I would say it's a little bit warmer. I have my other 500T that I made that's also, I'll link that video in the description too. That one, I've got two sort of V0, I guess, of these LUTs, you could call them, available for free as well. So yeah, here we go. We got 500. This one, kind of Godfather inspired, Corleone. It's very contrasty. It's kind of got the very deep shadows, and it is quite yellow. It's got that really warm, saturated look. Let's see here. Pulled a couple reference images. So you're gonna get the LUTs for your camera, and then there are transforms that I did. Took me a long time. I had to do it a number of times because we were testing these and developing them. So there is the Arri Log C4 Blackmagic Design Gen 5, Canon Log 3 Cine, S-Log 3 Cine, Red Log 3 G10, which is the IPP2 flavor, and an F-Log, which is from the Fuji cameras. So I made those LUTs transforms for the 33 and the 65 for all of them. That is all free. Here's another one I did. So I've shot this film before. It's in here. Now it was Super 8. And I'm gonna give you guys some of these overlays too, because they're just great. But this one actually turned out to be one of my favorites. It's just very saturated, very rich and dense. This is one, some of these looks are more stylized. This is stylized, but this is one I feel like you could use to just make everyday stuff really pop. It's got a lot of color in it. This is a great film stock. This is just footage that we got back from the intro sequence that we did, some classic Chicago Super 8. So yeah, and these overlays I'm going to give you too. Some of these overlays, here you can see, well, this one we probably do need to track because it's really moving, but it looks cool. Now Eterna, I've actually never shot, so I had to find some references online. This is another one I actually really like the way it turned out. I don't necessarily think it looks like Fuji Eterna. All these are a little bit more stylized, but it's got that kind of cool cyan thing going on. Actually, the next one has a similar thing, and I think they shot a lot of that movie on Fuji Eterna. So here it is, yeah. And this is definitely, it's on the warmer side, but this is a more stylized one, but it's cool. Again, this is one I actually think I would use quite a bit. Lovers, which is sort of I don't know. I guess I started with the inspiration was In the Mood for Love, which is the Wong Kar-wai film. I love his films. I don't think we quite nailed that. It had this kind of cyan thing going on as well. Let me see if I can find the stills that I pulled right there. Yeah, so these were the references. This one especially, I was like, that I can go for. I mean, this is production design. So these shots were just kind of plate stuff that we had sitting around and some outtakes from, you know, some footage that I was able to yank from my other films. It's funny because when you're trying to find like your best footage, you realize most of it you can't use because it's either for assignments or, you know, projects that are like works in progress. But I was happy to just yank from my old films and, you know, different environments to show you what it looks like. And you got the color charts too. Another one, I don't know if we nailed the look. Love Mulholland Drive, love David Lynch. I mean, I think in a way we did. Like it's very contrasty. It's a lot of this white light is being handled with halation actually. So you may not see as much of this if you're not using the power grade again to just actually show you that. So here we are on the timeline. If we were to disable the halation and the film grain, right? Then it obviously looks, you know, quite a bit different. But in this case, like this, I actually do think Mulholland Drive has these blasted highs. We'll see. I'm going to do a dive on the color from all these films that I picked too, and the look that they were able to achieve. Try a little comparison. So Redmond, another film that I love, and I don't know if this is the look from it, but this was like a more crisper, less deeply saturated, you know, but definitely kind of contrasty and warm, a little bit warmer in the midtones. So this is Barry Lyndon. This is the Stanley Kubrick movie that I was kind of using as a reference. Again, some of these, it's like the production design is so much of it, you know, but the vividness of the reds, I don't have anything like the closest that we get to red is the stuff that we see here. Oh, here, let's jump ahead. We see like here at the end, but I do think it has this kind of crispness and we'll turn the halation on too. That got disabled. Yeah. So now you see like, well, there you go. That's the difference in the power grade. Like a lot of the softness that you're seeing, a lot of the oomph is actually coming from the halation, which is a reason to get the power grade. So this is the only black and white one. It's kind of a, you know, a tri-X sort of flavor. I've shot a lot of this film actually on 16. So yeah, all these are kind of the film stocks are more emulations of like my experience shooting these on 16 millimeter. Let's see if I can find those stills here. Yeah, right here. You know, super contrasty. These ones are Super 8, but this was Super 16. Like I actually love to shoot in black and white on my viewfinder preview because I feel like you just look at things a little bit differently and you can always just change it later. So I like having a nice black and white that I can kind of get inspired by even when I'm just shooting, you know, random stuff, B-roll or whatever. So it's Zona, this one's called. So it's kind of like from Stalker, the Tarkovsky movie. And it's got that kind of, you know, leaning towards the vegetation. I think if you look at the final shots, which have more of this kind of outdoor sort of vibe that matches what's going on in that film. Oh, look, there's actually a few still references that pop up there even. That's funny. It's certainly not one-to-one, but you know, we're just kind of trying to be inspired by some of the projects and stuff that we like. So going back to the top on these, this is all LUTs right here. So yeah, so I have created these LUTs. They're available for 6 different cameras for free. You can go download them right now, play around with them. If you want to get the film overlays and burns that came from my footage, I've shot a lot of film. I'm going to go pull all those along with the power grades from these, which I'm about to pull. Those will be available to purchase on my site. And yeah, let me know what you think about these. We're going to be using them in a bunch of projects going forward. So this is kind of the launch. So I appreciate you checking them out and being here for it. And if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe.